Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Course Materials Services. My name is Rihanna Hobson. My colleague here as well is Sam Shantz. We're both from Course Materials Services, as well as I have Megan from Campus Services to assist us. I would like to mention that this session is being recorded. It's for the purpose of the presentation I'm giving, as well as the live transcript is enabled for accessibility purposes. So to start, I will give a presentation. After that, we will get into the Q&A. Questions can be asked in the chat, or you can use the raise hand function and ask one verbally. I will look at the Q&A chat first to answer the most commonly asked questions, and then I'll go to specific questions. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, getting your course materials one-on-one. So to access Booklist, you would visit the campusstore.ca/booklist. Your login is your Algonquin College username and password. Those credentials can be found on your Access account under the tab Network Account Info. Booklist is used for Ottawa, Perth, and Pembroke students. At this time, any students registered as AC Online can use this search by course function. Please note your username is the first part of your email, so don't add the @algonquinlive.com part. If you're visiting us in store, we're available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Inside the store, there are QR codes that you can scan. It'll pull up the link to log into your book list. Once you are in your book list or you search by course code, on the right-hand side here is what an example would look like. So the first one where it says buy new, so that'd be the physical book new. The next one is used. If used is available, it will show up on your book list. And then the third option is buy digital, which is the e-text option. For course material, the team tries to make every format available where possible, so digital and print. Should you buy an e-text and you receive a Texidium code, which is a 10-digit code, it looks something like this on the left-hand side of my screen. So to redeem that, you would visit texidium.com and you would create an account using any preferred email address you wish. Once you complete the registration steps, I highly suggest installing the app. It can be installed on up to 2 devices. Once that's downloaded, you can log into that app and read your digital books offline. Another digital code that you could receive is a digital access code or a publisher resource code. Those are made up of letters and numbers. For those specific codes, they would be redeemed through Brightspace once your course becomes available. The publisher sets up this unique link to the instructor to ensure you're getting into the right course. And should you have any questions about your course materials or an order you placed on the Connections website, you can reach out to cms@algonquincollege.com. So I will stop sharing my screen. Take a look at the questions. One of the questions is, can we access this slideshow? Yes, I will make the slideshow available. I'll have to look into that. Megan, would you know how?
Yes, I believe we should be able to pull everyone who is registered or everyone who attended after, and then we could probably email it out. We'll have to look into it, but if not, we could post it somewhere on the website. But I think that should be feasible. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Another question is if we need all our books. Oh, disappeared. Oh, here it is. If we need all our books for the first day, or should we wait? It's really up to the student when they want to purchase their resources. I know some like to purchase early in advance, start reading. Others like to wait and check in with their instructor. But it's up to you. We do have stock available. I know longer we get into the semester, maybe perhaps the third, fourth week, our stock will start to go down, but we will still have availability.
So there's this is a sort of a more general question about how to join your classes. This one's specific to the ECE program, but just for everybody. So how to access your classes if they're being offered online will vary by the professor, whether they choose to use Zoom or Teams. They should communicate through Brightspace, but it may also be email. But I would say check your Brightspace or email to look for those links of how to access your classes. If you still can't find that, please contact your program coordinator. I'll put the link in the chat in a few minutes of where to find your program coordinator in case you have program specific.
I literally did line by line.
Another question I'm seeing, if you can just go to the campus store with your book list and buy them there. Yes, you can do that. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Have your timetable or your book list, and the customer service counter can help you. Before coming onto campus, I suggest checking the updates on COVID-19, as there are new steps in place that you need to follow in order to gain access to the campus.
Miranda, do you know approximately how long it takes for people online, how long for the order to process or to receive it?
Right now, orders being received on our website, it's 2 business days to process. In addition to shipping times, if you selected ship out. So if you're within Ontario, 1 to 2 business days. Outside of Ontario, within Canada, 3 up to 5 business days. There's also a question about if you have some in-person classes, how will I know where to go on the first day?
Yeah, so when you log into Access, that's where you view your timetable. Each course, if it's on campus, should have a room number. It can be a little bit confusing because usually the first letter is W, and that just means the Woodruff campus, the Ottawa campus. And then after that, it will be the letter for the building, like A, B, C building, and then the number. So typically at the college, the room numbers are like the number coordinates with the floor. So if you're on the 3rd floor, it'll be like 300 or whatever. So I hope that helps. But yeah, the room number should be on your timetable on Access. Rihanna, are people able to borrow books online from the campus store? Like rent?
On the campus store, we do have availability of a digital rental. So when you're buying that digital rental on our website, it will tell you the length of access you have it for.
Okay, great. Is there anything special they need to do to access that if they wanted to, or is it just available on the website?
If it's available for their courses, when they log into their book list or search by course code, it will show you the options available. Sometimes we'll have e-texts or digital books for lifetime access. Then we also have options for a 12-month access, which reduces the price. Another question I am seeing is if we need to make an account or is our school email used. So for the campus store account, you may create an account with any preferred email address and password. This is separate from your college credentials. To create an account, you would add the items to your cart, click checkout, and then during the billing information page, there's a box where you can click create an account, and that's where you create an account. Megan, there's also a question about OSAP. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, So students that have OSAP, typically those funds will go right into a checking account. So you can purchase your books ahead of time. And then once OSAP gives you the money, you can give yourself the money or pay it off. Some students like to wait if they don't have the funds. If you're waiting for funds, financial aid can also be of assistance.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Yeah, and if you need support with OSAP, the financial aid department at the college can help you. I can send you the link after this. But yeah, once you receive your OSAP, sort of up to you how you want to divvy it up. But yes, you can purchase them ahead of time. And then once you get your OSAP, it's like you're being paid back. So.
Megan, there's also another question about benefits of student card.
Yeah, so the student cards at Algonquin College have a few uses. If you have any on-campus labs, you will need the student card to get into the lab. You also need it to borrow books from the library. You can upload your meal plan on it if you choose to have a meal plan. It's also just a good idea to have one in general. Even if you're learning remotely, there are lots of businesses that would offer a discount to students, and the student card is the easiest way to prove your enrollment as a student and gain those discounts from various retailers. So we do encourage everyone to get the student card. It's free. You just need to upload your photo online, and then you can either have them mailed to you or choose to pick them up. Again, I can share that information in the chat as well.
Another great question is your book list, and it says included. Do you have to pay for it? So you don't. So when you log into your book list, and if you see that one of your resources say included, that means that the fee was assessed to your tuition, and that's how you paid for it. To access that resource, the instructor will give you instructions on how to redeem that resource.
So if a book is back ordered or out of stock, and has already been ordered, how will we know when to pick up our books?
Once a textbook comes into stock, you will be notified via email that is ready for pickup. Or if you select to ship out, we will ship it out right away. There is also another question about they ordered their books last week and wanting to know the status of it. If you can kindly email campusstore@algonquincollege.com with your order number, we can take a look into it. I also see some questions about how I can change a course, add or remove a course. That would be performed at the registrar's office, Megan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I believe the email is askus@algonquincollege.com. They'll be able to help you with that. Another question about how to get your student card. I'll let you answer that one, Megan.
Sorry, I'm just not.
It's in the chat of all attendees, not in the Q&A webinar.
I just uploaded my photo this morning. How much time does it take? Yeah, so it should take a couple days. I believe we are all caught up for now, but within a few business days. And then once your cards are ready, they'll send you an email with instructions to either book a pickup appointment on campus, or if you're a domestic student in Canada, you can choose to have your cards mailed to you as well. How do you get your student card? Yeah, so again, you need to upload a photo online, and then once your cards are ready, they'll give you an email with instructions on either picking up on campus, or you can choose to have them mailed to you if you live within Canada. The website is just, one second, I will put it in. Okay. And there is the website for card services. So if you have a question, just please try to use the Q&A tab just so we can keep all the questions in one place and answer as best as we can. I see a question here about a business student. So Booklist is a custom list of your course materials for your program and your classes. So whatever resources you need should be there. If you're a Perth, Pembroke, or Ottawa student, you can log in. So you just need your network account credentials, which are found on Access. It'll say network account information, your username and password there. That's what you use to log into Booklist. And then it should give you all of your materials right there. And then you can choose print or digital from there. So that's specific to you for your program. And then if you're an EC Online student, you can also just search by course on the campus store website as well.
Another question is, do you sell your books back to the campus store after you have used them? Good question. At this time, we are not taking back used books. We hope to start that up again sometime in the late fall, most likely November. But what it's called is, you might hear the term buyback program, which is where we create a list with other publishers of used books that Ottawa campus wants to buy back and essentially resell to next semester students. Once that becomes available, we will be marketing it and it will be noted on our website. So you go to the website, you click the tab and you type in the ISBN on the back of the book and hit search. That search will come up saying, we are accepting it back for X amount of price. We'll sell it to, we'll buy it back, or we are not at this time. Another question about whether Booklist will say if we need an access code in addition to the textbook. So books that we sell that require the textbook and access code, we sell only as a package. So if you're buying the physical textbook and it comes with an access code, you'll get it together. We don't sell those separately. Typically, the title of the textbook will say managerial accounting with Connect. So the textbook is the managerial accounting, and with Connect is the access code that's shrink wrapped in the back of the book. Another question is if you can buy your course material elsewhere. Students can buy it wherever they feel they want to. One of the benefits, though, buying from the campus store is that it's the right resource. So the books we sell is what the department has asked us to sell for your course. Should there be a difference or there's something that's different about it, we will remedy it and we will fix it and we'll make sure that the student has the right resource. So we won't essentially let them be left with a book they can't use. Megan, I see another question about card services not being in Canada, and they'll be arriving in late winter, November, December. And should they wait to get their ID card now? Will they hold on to it for that long?
Yeah, so typically once the cards are printed, we do expect people to pick them up in a timely manner. So if you're not able to do so, I would suggest just waiting until you get here. I think that's the most, probably the easiest thing for you so that it doesn't get lost. I see another one here about already having a card from 2020. I believe that should still be valid. Student number and email are the same. I think you probably don't need to get a new one. I think you should be fine. But if you do have questions, you can always send us an email at photoid@algonquincollege.com is for card services, and I will put that in the chat.
So I see a question about only one book being available online. And the rest of my books, I think you're asking if they're also available online. So when you view your course material, it will show you if it's available online, I'm assuming meaning digital format or physical. If you don't see one of those options, that's because that book is not available in either digital format or print. Another question about suggested versus required textbooks. So textbooks that are labeled suggested are more of a resource to help you within the class that are not necessarily required to perform the class or pass it. So it's more of a helpful resource.
So it looks like I believe we've gotten through all the questions in the Q&A tab. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to just pop them in there or raise your hand, and we'll get to as many as we can in this time. So I just saw a question. If the book is suggested, can we just borrow from the library? So you can borrow books from the library, but it's not, I don't believe it's guaranteed that they would have every course material for every program, the same way that the campus store is guaranteed to. So I will send you the information for borrowing at the library, but their selection for books might be more limited than the campus store.
Megan, I see another question about AC card. They're trying to log on to get their AC card. Do you use your student number?
Yes, sorry, I should have clarified when I was talking about this earlier. So the login for the AC photo portal where you upload your photo for the cards is your network account username and password, which is the same login that you use for Booklist and your AC email and your Brightspace. So it's not your student number, it's whatever your username is, which is usually part of your name and then some numbers and then a password. So that's what the login should be. If that is what you're using and it's not working, then I would recommend reaching out to card services. There may be some other issue specific to you, but it should be your network account username and password.
So another question about suggested books. Can we rent them from the campus store? So buying books, whether physical or digital, if you buy physical, you have 14 days to do a return to get your money back. We don't offer the service at the time of buying suggested books in physical format, using them for the duration of your course and then returning them. If you buy an e-text, there could be an option of a digital rental with a certain length of access, which would make it cheaper.
So there's a few questions coming in. So where do you go to find your book list?
So you can go to bookstore.algonquincollege.com. That is the Connections website. I believe it's already in our chat. Yes, I see it there. So once there, you can hover over the tab Books and then click Book List. Then a question, is there an option for applying for a Chromebook? We do not sell Chromebooks at the campus store, if that's what you're asking. On our website, under the tab Tech, there are laptop options. These laptops are recommended through the IT department, and the program coordinator, I guess, works with the IT department to find the best laptop suitable for that program. There is also a BYOD website on the Algonquin College website where you can go to there, select your program, and see what laptop is recommended specifically for your program. Another question about how to rent these books. So the campus store does not rent physical books. If you're looking for borrowing books, you can visit the library. I think, Megan, you already posted the link in the chat. So how to use digital books, depending on what type of access code you received. On the access code, there should be notes/instructions on how to redeem it. If you received a Texidium code, you would be downloading it on the Texidium website or app if you've downloaded it. I can also add a link in there in a minute. And then for other access codes, such as publisher resource codes or digital codes, there would be a link provided on Brightspace to redeem that e-text. Another question of where can I get books for free for my course? So if you're looking for free resources, perhaps the library, you can borrow from the library and they may have the textbook you're looking for. Another option is perhaps previous students are giving away their textbooks. I think they probably do that through Kijiji or a Facebook group.
So I'm just going to answer this question, asking about how to access the online library. So I believe the library offers a short little online, like, I don't want to call it like a session basically of instructions of how to go through the library. So I would recommend signing up for that. It's in their calendar on their website. I will send you the link in just a moment. And I believe there are sessions as part of orientation today as well, of introducing to the library and all of their services and how to access them. But they do offer that little session periodically throughout the rest of this week and into the next coming weeks, I believe. So I would recommend attending that, and then you can learn more about how to access all of their various services online.
A question about Booklist. Where can you see the book list? In the chat, the link was provided, algonquincollege.com/booklist. I'll add it there in case it's not there anymore, but you would log in using that link with your username and password, which is found on your Access account.
Okay, so there's a question in the chat. Added to my cart, says it's included, but it's still charging the price. So if it's included, you actually don't need to add to cart. You don't need to purchase it at all because your professors, your instructors will provide it. So you don't need to go through the campus store for a resource that says included. So I would take it out of your cart because it will be provided from your instructors. We do have just about 15 minutes left. So if anyone has any questions, please let us know. We'll get through as many as we can. Just a reminder, this session is being recorded. So I believe it will be added to the orientation website after within the next few days. So you can rewatch it if you forget any of the information that we've said today. So just on logging in, I'm not sure if this is referring to Booklist or the campus store, but it says my network account info, email, and password is not working for the website. How can I fix this issue? Oh, Rhiannon, sorry, you're muted.
Or do you want me to come over there? Hello?
I can do that. So for Booklist specifically, you're going to want to use your network credentials. Those can be found in Access, but they won't be how you log in there. They also won't be how you log into the store itself. When you are placing an order, then you can create an account with the campus store, but you do not need to do that before ordering your books, and you do not need to do that to bring up your book list.
Thank you, Sam. Someone else saying can't log into my Brightspace. So again, that would be your username, your network account username and password found on Access. So if that's not working for you, I would suggest contacting ITS. Their email's really easy to remember. It's just 5555@algonquincollege.com, and they can help you out there. They also have a lot of self-help things for Brightspace and email, and I want to say Access to on their website. I just saw a question, do all classes start next week? So it depends on your program. So some start this week. Apprentices actually started last week. And if you're on AC Online, they have different start dates than the people learning at Ottawa, Perth, and Pembroke campuses, remote versus in person. So the start dates of your classes really depends on what program you're in, but you should be able to see that information on your timetable on Access. We have about 10 minutes remaining in this session. So if anyone has any last minute burning questions about course materials that you haven't gotten answers for, please let us know. I know some of the questions are about other things like cards and various other services, but we're happy to help as best as we can. Oh, here's one. Do we have PDF book for course or do we need to buy it? So I believe that would be if you were purchasing a digital resource, but Rhiannon, I'll let you speak to that a little bit more. I'm sorry, you're still muted, but I'm sorry, maybe Sam? Sorry.
Yeah, as for PDFs, they do exist. Most of the e-texts that we sell are actually in EPUB format. That's the format that's used within Texidium. So if you purchase a Texidium e-text, that'll be an EPUB, probably EPUB 3. Some of them will be PDF, but that's a very small quantity. If you're talking about finding your own PDFs, obviously you can do that, but that would not be available through the campus store. So you would have to go look for them yourself. Also, finally, if you have an access code for a resource like MyLab or Connect, the e-text will be embedded within that software. So in that case, it wouldn't be a PDF or EPUB file. It would be essentially it would be web-based. So it would be on a website like the Connect software itself.
Thank you, Sam. That was a good answer. I'm seeing a message in the chat about issues with your student email. Again, I would advise you to check out the ITS page. They do have a lot of FAQ of common things that people experience, or you can reach out to them directly for help. I can put it in the chat again. It's just algonquincollege.com/ITS. Okay, we have about 5 minutes left. Sam, well, I would ask Brianna, but your mic's not working, sorry. What's your best advice for students as they take on the term? What's your little tidbit you could leave them with for success?
No, honestly, I think the best advice I could give would be, to make sure to talk to your coordinator or your instructor and ask them what they recommend if you have any questions about your course material. And also, if you have any questions, to go visit the campus store and actually talk to someone there. The staff there in customer service, they know a lot. Myself and Rihanna work with them a lot, so they can definitely give you a lot of good information about books and about e-texts, and recommend which format they think you should use. And so yeah, I would recommend you make use of the knowledge around you, whether that's your instructor or the people that work at the campus store.
That was a great answer. Thank you, Sam. We do have one question. I started my course in fall of 2020. I bought all the textbooks. I had to defer to this fall. Can I still access my texts? Sam, do you want to take that on?
Yes. In a lot of, it's going to depend on the specific e-texts that you did purchase. If you purchased any Texidium ebooks, so you got the Texidium access codes, those can be downloaded into the application. They can be downloaded onto your device. So you should still have access to any e-texts that you purchased. For access codes, that can be a little different because most publisher access codes do have limits. They're normally limited to a semester or 1 to 2 years. So I would recommend reaching out to the publisher. You should have contact information for them. If not, you can ask CMS for that. Normally, publishers our publisher rep is very helpful and will be able to extend your access. But if you haven't used any of those codes yet, they should still work. But if you did use the codes, you probably will need to have your access extended. And in that case, most of the time, the publisher rep can help you.
Great, thank you. So we'll stay on for a few minutes just to see if there's any last minute questions that come in. But for anyone who's heading out, we just want to wish you all the best this term and thank you for tuning in. We hope that it was helpful. Again, this session is being recorded and will be uploaded to the orientation website within the next few days, I believe. But you can always contact us if you need help. The course materials services email, I'll just put it in the chat, is cms@algonquincollege.com, and you can reach out to us for any support with any of your course materials and any questions you have. So thank you and have a great rest of your year, everybody, and enjoy AC Day 1.